Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 27, second episode of this beautiful Thursday, episode 27 of Extend the Drive, a Best Ball Live. I'm Sean Mitchell. We've got Cody from off the Schneid coming in to draft with us tonight. Cody, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me on. You've been grinding
In the
grinding the
streets.
updates. grinding the updates, grinding the streaming, grinding the drafts. I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you being here. I know this is, I know we've tried and talked about it like way back when, whenever I first started doing these streams back, I guess in like May or whenever it was. And, you're kind of more of a late nighter drafter. I'm kind of a one to try to do, drafts early and stuff. And I'm an old man, so I'm more of an early riser, early to better. So, but yeah, man, I'm glad we finally got to get on. I'm excited to get to draft with you, man. I know you're a sharp dude. I've watched a lot of your stuff. I know you're really strong on your takes, which I've got the most respect for because that's hard to find these days. It's not so much hard to find, but a lot of people want to get off their takes, whenever it's not maybe going their way or not looking the best. But no, it's a good thing that you got going on, and I appreciate that, man. So
yeah, people are always willing to capitulate pretty easy and just kind of let it go and just agree. And you see it on streams a lot. So I mean, I don't have a crazy amount of guests because I don't want to be swayed in any way when I'm drafting. Like I do appreciate other opinions, and I do watch other people's stuff, including yourself, obviously. And I do like other people's opinion, but when I have a strong take, I'm not going to get knocked off of it. It's not going to happen. Right or wrong, I'm going to die by the sword. It's my money. I'm drafting, and I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. So this is definitely a long time coming. But the time difference, I think you're in the East, right? I'm
in Central. So, but you're in the West. You're in the West, right?
I'm an hour. I think an hour behind you. So
yes, that's okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So, because I knew you would always kind of a lot of your shows were a little bit later than That's what I'm saying. I'm always usually hitting the bed right about that time too. So that's why I've only caught a few of them. Whenever I'm up late doing something drafting still or whatever. But
I appreciate you staying up late for me.
Yeah, exactly. See, I mean, had to do it, man. I got to get in the content. Who names in the chat? Good to see the Who crew. I had a good one with Who the other day. Fantasy Dog. Number 2. Hey, Sean Cody. Who? Good to see you, buddy. Doing a puppy first round. Yeah, let's do that. We can do the puppy that we planned on doing here. I know you said you're not really drafting pup 4. You drafted a lot of pup. Are you getting some volume in somewhere else? I've been doing the pointers or whatever. I wanted to get those maxed out, so I've kind of hammered those a little bit. But what are you drafting right now, Cody?
Yeah, I love that pointer structure. Like there used to be poodle 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. I love the poodles.
Right.
I made a final in the poodles.
I guess they're not doing that this year, right?
No, like it was my favorite tournament. So I love all of these like 10 max, 7 max, even 5 max, like those type 20 max. Those types of tournaments are I love those tournaments. So I'll max every single one that comes out that's structured in that way. So the pointer I'm definitely going to max. I have one left of that, and I've been catching up on my best ball manias. It kind of got away from me, and I was like, shit, all of a sudden I need 50 best ball manias.
Are you maxing it?
I'm maxing it. Yeah. Okay. I'm at 130, so I have 20 more to do, which is not too bad, but I've been ripping like 5 a day for the past week.
I know. Once you get behind the curve, you're like, oh no, man. It is a grind, and it's getting. I mean, I was looking at the fill rate earlier. It's sitting right now 88%. So
88, wow.
I mean, it's close to 90%. So that's. I mean, obviously, I feel like there's going to be tons of overlay with some of these other contests, and I don't know if you're big into chasing that overlay. I mean, some of these contests I might throw a few in if it gets the overlay still really badly, but I still got to do my golden 2. Have you done the golden 2 yet?
I'm not going to do it. I just don't think I need it really. Like there's really, I do want to get more sprints in, and there should be some overlay there, but I really do want to draft that tournament anyways. There is overlay, but I'm not chasing it. Like I'm not drafting the marathon at all.
Yeah. So if I do, I'll play it over. I'll play it over at drafters because I know it's going to overlay like crazy.
And that's what I was always saying about Underdog having that tournament. Like, why? Just let drafters do their thing. They do it well. That's all they do. Let them do their thing over there instead of trying to compete. Like, Underdog does its thing, Drafters does its thing, DK does its thing, Fast Draft. There's all these other places to draft. Like let drafters just have that season long, thing.
It's the same thing. It's like because it's what's 150,000 up top, I believe, over here on Underdog. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
It's only 100,000, and you can go draft on Drafters for $5 more and shoot for 500K. Now, granted, there are a lot more entrants in that one, but yeah, it's like if I'm going to draft that contest, why would I not draft for 500K compared to 100,000? That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and I just think and I hope Underdog learns kind of their lesson. This is the second year they've run it, and just let drafters do that. Let them have it. Leave it alone. And you have how many other tournaments have we drafted throughout the summer? Different structures, super flex, first quarters, now second quarter. There's all these different tournaments that are over tournaments.
Here. Yeah, but I will say I don't think that they really launched nearly as many as I felt like they did last year, and I might just be off on that because I felt like there was way more gaps of me drafting on UD this year than there was last year. Because I felt like last year, man, they always had something to draft. Like, and I say that I'm more of the lower volume. Like, I want to do a lot of the puppies. I want to do a lot, like you mentioned. I want to do a lot of these lower max these out. But they were not just like keeping them up, like constantly throughout the whole Best Ball Mania season. They kind of parsed them out a little bit and had longer gaps. So there was sometimes where I just wasn't drafting on there at all. And right after I think Pup 3, right before Pup 4 was opened, I think I took like 2 weeks off where I just didn't draft anything because they didn't really launch anything else. But
yeah,
I don't know,
necessarily a bad thing either. But
no.
It's just all the different stuff, I think, is more what it was. Like, there's probably a lot of tournaments that you didn't want to draft at all. There was a bunch for me. I'm not doing that. I didn't do any super flex, zero.
Nope,
I'm not doing
not a super flexer. Nope, not a super flexer here.
And these quarter ones, I'm not doing those. The marathons, like there's a bunch that I'm just like, I'm not doing. There's more than enough to draft. I only have a finite bankroll here, including maxing Best Ball Mania. So I'm not gonna chase these tournaments, especially with Superflex. I think that's something that people, it's a huge gap in people's just overall best ball strategy and draft strategy is contest selection. Mm-hmm. I know, and I can admit I'm not good at Superflex. I know it. I can admit it to myself. Like a lot of drafters aren't willing to say, like, I can't draft this well. Right. So why am I doing it? And I agree, I think that's important for people to understand or realize. And it's okay. It's okay if you're not good at it.
And that's, it's funny, like you say that, because I guess it was BBM 2 or BBM 3. I made the finals in BBM 1, which that was the year Herzig won it, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it was the next year. I guess it was 2. I maxed it out, and I did not have very good results. Like I lost. I probably made back like 30% of my money. It was not good. Like, it was a bloodbath. Yeah. And then from there on, I told myself, I was like, you know what? From now on, just get as much volume in, because that's all I was drafting like that year. Like that was all I was focused on, was maxing out BBM. Like, I didn't care about any other contest. So the last 2 years, pretty much, last year really heavily, I just started saying, you know what? I want to get 40 or 50 in every puppy. I want to get, I want to do all the lower stuff. And I had my best year last year. So that's kind of the way the context selection, man, that is so huge. Like, getting into those contests, I haven't even played any of the larger dollar stuff where you can have like the 4 of 12 advances, it's first round. But like, that's why I like the big board. I know it was a top heavy contest, but you still had was it 3 of 12 or 4 of 12 first round advance. I mean, you kind of, you got to play stuff like that if you, that give you that little leg up. If you do, squeak in a team that probably wouldn't have made it in a 1 of 2 or, a 2 out of 12. But contest selection is huge, man.
Find your edges. I maxed everything in the big board season. I had 2 teams. I actually should have had like 4 in the finals for the big board last year. If CD Lamb played the second half in week 16, I probably would have had 4 teams in the final in the big board. Yeah. I ended up with 2 in the final in the big board, which is still pretty good.
No, so that's really good. Yeah.
So that's my, like, I'll max everything early because I'm very confident in my edge in early season. Yeah. So, and then late season, whatever. It's just like find what works for you, find your gaps, and don't waste money on those gaps. There's lots to draft. There's lots to draft. You don't have to force it in.
And that's the other thing that I wanted to point out too. Like, I didn't mind taking those weeks off because I told myself that I wasn't going to draft them. Like, I wasn't just going to draft a contest, like you said. Like, I wasn't just going to draft something because I wanted to draft. Like, and that good thing is I put in a bunch of pre-draft stuff, so I was okay with that because I knew I already had a good volume. Hartman, good to see you, buddy, in the chat. Appreciate you coming in. Hartman is going to be on the channel tomorrow afternoon, so
Nice.
Be on the lookout for that one as well. And Fantasy Dog comment, appreciate you, man. Let's jump in, man. Let's do one. You know what? Let's just, since you are maxing BBM, this will be number 25 for me. Let's do a BBM. How about that?
Nice. Let's do it.
We'll
No
do
more
that.
slows. No more slows.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I thought it was going to say slow only. I was about to say, well, never mind. But let's do a BBM. We'll do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are waiting on 3. So if you're in the chat, get on in here. Let's talk about Michael Parsons, man. What did you think? I am a Cowboys fan. I'm not I'll say this. I'm not a diehard NFL fan. I love
Let's get your
football.
take first then. If you're a Cowboys fan.
I mean, obviously, I don't think it was the best of choices. I'll say that. Obviously, the 2 first-round picks could parlay into something decent. I mean, but
they could even be Michael Parsons.
And to that point, it's like we did get a D tackle out of it, a pretty decent
a good one too.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep. So we kind of got something in regard to the Parsons position back in return, and not only that, but I think the Cowboys are getting like 17 mil. I think it's real gradual, but like 3 or 4 years, they're getting a big chunk of money too. So, I mean, I don't know, man. The Cowboys defense is probably not going to be good at all, which is kind of what we've all been setting for and saying with the whole, Dak and CD and George Pickens are probably going to throw like crazy. And they probably are, definitely now. I mean, that defense is not going to be great. It's projected to be a bottom, probably bottom 10 team as far as defense goes now. So.
Yeah, they were projected to be bad before this trade, and now they're going to be god awful. But that's very fun for fantasy football. So
yes, it is. I hate to see it for Dak too, because I am a Dak fan. Dak's obviously a great dude, and I definitely wanted to see him at least get a good playoff run. But now it feels like they're just completely punting like this year. And I mean, I don't know, man. I think they're definitely wasting his best years.
Doesn't it feel like there's always that owner in dynasty leagues that will just keep kicking it down the road,
Keep kicking that can, maybe next year. It'll be next year.
I get 2 first, and they're just always chasing draft picks, and it's like, man, don't you want to compete at some point?
That's why I could never get into doing dynasty. Like, I've never tried it, but obviously I follow a lot of guys on Twitter that play dynasty, and I've seen a lot of their tweets and all their conversations, and yeah, I'm just like, man, I don't really have any desire to do that, to be like, I'm in a rebuilding team and all you're doing is just trying to scoop up picks for the next 3 years. It's like, what fun is that? That is not fun to me.
I mean, I'm in a couple. I'm not very good at dynasty, if I'm being perfectly honest with everyone, including myself. I'm not super great at it because I just don't love it very much. It's fine, but I don't really like it. But the one that I'm in that I do really like, I'm in a dynasty league it started as a Twitter kind of invitational sort of league. It's 32 teams. Wow. So 32 teams, 32 owners. It's a super flex. So you don't have to have a quarterback, but obviously you need one to do good to win. Right. It's fun in that it's so deep and it's only like $20, but there's 32 of us. So $20 times 32, right? I think it's still like $400 for first price. Right, yeah. So, but it's fun. It's a fun league, and it's way different than anything else. Anyone else would play. But
we are at the turn here, man. What's your turn bets looking like? Who are you liking at the turn right now?
It's always Drake London for me.
Okay.
It's always Drake London. Then I'm open to kind of whatever. I mean, Amon-Ra is just steady Eddie.
I was going to say, that's hard to pass on Amon-Ra at 12 or 13. I mean, I know his ADP's 11, but typically he hasn't been slipping much. But I'm fine with either one of these top 2. Which one is your more preference? I know you're not a big Genty bull, so
I'm not a big Genty guy. I'd be Derrick Henry over Genty, but Amon-Ra's fine with me.
Okay, let's go with Monroe because I think that's just too good of a two wide receiver start there to pass up on a BBM. Which this is, like I said, this is number 25 for me. So I already knew that I was. Which most of my BBMs have been streamed. I've only done just a handful on my own. That I really like the more entertainment value with them, obviously, and having. I would love to have a sweat with somebody from the stream and the BBM. Like to me, that would be way more fun than just me having one by myself. Obviously, I want to win. Obviously, I want to win it myself, but it would be really cool to have one on the stream and be able to sweat it on stream. Maybe if it did get that far, and that'd be really cool. Man. It'd be fun.
It'd be fun to rewatch the stream back too.
Right, talk about the picks and like what you did. And
yeah, that's some more good content right there. I think there's been like guys that have had finals teams, obviously, that were streamed, but not that finished exceptionally high. So that would be fun if your top 10 on the Monday night game, last game, and you got a shot. You have outs. You can make some content around that. I think what's his name? Pat Carrain streamed live the game. Obviously, that was the
year that he won
Bills game. Yeah, that was the Bengals Bills game.
Oh no, the one that ended short.
Yeah, so really, like Pat Carrain would not have won Best Ball Mania
if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to be salty about it, for the circumstances that it was, the Hamlin, whatever happened there, obviously. But yeah, I had a lot of players in that game as well, so I'm going to say that I was pretty salty about, which obviously it's Bills Bengals. I mean, that was one of the most sought out games of the whole year, and it went down like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I was very invested in that game. It was I was just like, what happens? This is why, like,
I know. I was like, they've got to finish the game, right? And they're like, no, it's canceled.
I don't know.
They're stopping it. The game's over. The players are walking off the field. And I get it as human nature. Obviously, I would never say that I feel ill towards that at all, because obviously that was the right thing to do. That was the right thing to do. But yeah, it's in the back. In that fantasy sense, you were just like, man, that is either one side you're on where you're fading the whole game, or you didn't have very many guys going or whatever, and you're like, okay, kind of get that bell out. But then on our case, where we're like had a very big investment in that game, that's tough, man. That's tough to deal with. But
I didn't have much invested in that or riding on it at the time, besides like my own fandom. But that was crazy. But yeah, it would have been. It's pretty interesting how it happened, and Pat Carrain probably would not have won.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't even really think about that. So that was pretty interesting to which. Didn't think about that. I forget randomly at those prior seasons at times. But that was a very interesting turnout there. But,
in fairness, I pretty much forget everything.
Man,
after it happens,
awful.
Sort of thing. Yeah, like once it's done and over with, like even work stuff or anything. Yep. Once it's over, it is completely out of my brain.
I'm terrible with years. I'm terrible. I have the work like depth perception of time. My wife gets so mad at me because somebody will ask me, "Hey, when was that? Something you did something that year, or whatever. What year was that?" And I'm like, "That was like 2 years ago." And my wife's like, "That was like 7 years ago." And I was like, "Oh yeah, 7? Okay."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm getting old and I know it, and it's just time flies, dude, and you just don't really realize it, but it's crazy.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. But what are we thinking here? What are you looking at?
I'm a big Tet warrior. I don't want to call him Tet because I know he gets mad about that, but I am big on T-Mac. I have been buying some more Devontae with the Stafford stuff. I have been buying more JSN lately, but I am open. I don't really care for too much of the running backs here, I will say. Obviously, Jaden is always a fine play. What are you thinking?
I'm all right to bring in George Pickens here.
Okay.
I think
that's one that I haven't been pulling up much, and I do think I need to, and just for the whole reasons we just talked.
Yeah, I think he should pull up a little bit. And then JSN is fun. I haven't been getting enough of him either, and that's a nice little dip on JSN. So
yeah, I like that. And we're pretty, we can probably stop at 6 or 7 wide receivers on this team now, obviously. So that gives us a little bit more wiggle room on the other positions, and we can turn this into a 3-3, maybe, three quarterback, three tight end type build later on. So have you been doing a lot of I'm sure you're probably more of a late quarterback builder. I don't think you're probably into the elites that much. Is that
no? I actually have been realistically, I'm super focused on how I build Best Ball Mania teams.
Okay.
That's another reason why I don't want to have guests on when I'm drafting Best Ball Mania, because I am not going to change how I draft for someone else. It's just not going to happen. I literally drafted one with a guest, and it was random. It just kind of worked out that way. Billy Jones, big brain Billy Jones came on. And we did one. But other than that, it's all on my own. So I'm very, very focused on how I want to draft and how I want to structure these Best Ball Manias, because it can be worth $2 million.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying as often as I possibly can to stop at 2 quarterbacks or stop at 2 tight ends, if not both. So I'm very, very focused on that. I did a lot of kind of research into
structure,
essentially into structure and advance rates with structure through 6 rounds and through 10 rounds, and what the advance rates look like through, again, structure through 6 rounds and then structure through 10 rounds, and what the advance rates look like. And again, shout out Billy Jones. That was a big reason why I had him on, because he
was the one that did all the analysis.
He put it together, and then I expanded on it on his charts. I expanded my own stuff into those charts. So I wanted to bring him on and see what he thought about it, and then kind of, again, narrowed down what, in my opinion, are the optimal starts through 6 rounds and then through 10 rounds. And then how do I get from 6 rounds to 10 rounds? What do I have to kind of do? So that's how I've been super focused on Best Ball Mania. The other tournaments, I'll do whatever. I'll draft. It'll be fun. I can try different things. Yeah. And I even do that to a point on Best Ball Mania, but much more structured. So I do like the elites, depending on where they go and depending on my structure. And then again, I'm always stopping at 2. Like, I know Steve,
I agree with you. Like, I'm totally good with that. Yeah, I was going to say Steve is a big 3 quarterback. Yeah. For me, it's kind of the same way, but I kind of let the draft dictate. Like, if I get Jalen Hurts to drop 5-6 spots, I'm going to take him. If JD Daniels falls 5, I'm going to take him. So I kind of let the draft flow dictate, essentially how that's going to work. And a lot of times the elites just get taken either at ADP or before, and then I'm just like, okay, well, now I'm going to be building out a Baker Mayfield or a Bo Nix or so I don't mind it either way. But to that point, like, I don't know. I'm only really taking them if they fall. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. If they fall, or if I've already got one, of their wide receivers. We are on the clock here. We have Hunter, Flowers, Pearsall, Connor, Burrow.
I don't mind doing Pearsall and Romadunze here either.
Okay.
And we get that week 17 game stack, and then we're pretty close to being done.
I was going to say, we could probably be just about done here at wide receiver on this one. We're going 0 running back. I got a feeling on this one.
We already are. We're there
already. It is definitely going to be 0 running back. But so where are you on those structures, like anchor, hero running back, double anchor running back? How are you going about those? Are you doing a lot of one? Or are you just letting it kind of like this, let it fall the way it is? Or Peppers?
I'm doing a lot of hero, anchor, whatever you want to call it. But so what I found essentially through the numbers that I can show you if you want the spreadsheet. We can maybe look at it after this draft if you want. But the ideal structure through 10 rounds for me, from what I see, is 1-4-4-1.
1-4-4-1.
So it'll balance. Very balanced, but it also should allow for you to stop at 1 quarterback, 1 tight end. And also it's not super frequent. So in the charts, you'll see it also shows the frequency of which, like, how often people are drafting these structures. So trying to kind of get away from common structures, because it's not impossible in a 672,000 entry tournament that there's duplicate rosters through, say, 6 rounds. As it gets deeper into the draft, right, it's going to get different. There's going to be risers, fallers, pull a guy up, whatever. But through 6 rounds, it's not crazy to say there's a lot of duplicate, structures out there. So look at Jamar Chase at the 1. Jamar Chase, McBride, Higgins, Burrow.
Marv,
right? Yeah, there's all kinds of duplicate. I guarantee you there's a lot of duplicate, through 6 rounds from the 1 spot. So how do you differentiate from that, where it makes sense? So we can take a look at it. But I'm stopping even with 2 of those, quarterbacks that you mentioned, I'm
totally fine. If I get like a Bo Nix and a Baker Mayfield or a Bo Nix and a Justin Herbert, I mean, I've even stopped with like a Justin Herbert and Bryce Young, because I'm obviously really high on Bryce Young as it is, but I feel like Bryce Young could be a quarterback where he's going that could easily give you some weeks. Like, I don't mind stopping with 2 quarterbacks if I've got Bryce Young and one of those, the 110 through, 90 through 120-ish range there. Like I said, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, those guys, Caleb, which I'm very heavy on for their pass catchers. So
super heavy on the Bears and Caleb.
Yeah, me both, man. Rome obviously has been one that I've been bull posting about for a while. I know you're on him too, so always good to know that. We're probably going to double tap running back here is my guess, or we could take a Tyler Warren or Mark Andrews. Are you buying into those mid-round tight ends? I know with what you just said that I would say so, right?
Yeah, I definitely am, but I'm good to do either one. Like, I would go in this case, in this team, I would definitely go Tyler Warren over Mark Andrews in this case, but we definitely need one of these running backs. I love Jordan Mason.
Okay.
He's one of my higher drafted
running backs. I like Mason. I think he's going to get the goal line work. I think he's going to have the value when it comes down to the actual in-half PPR. Exactly. I saw somebody trying to make that case on why Jordan Mason shouldn't be drafted, and I'm like, you realize KOC has flat out said it multiple times that he is the goal line back. That's the whole reason they brought him on, was to be the goal line back. Do you understand how important that role is for half PPR?
And not only that, we saw how much they struggled last year on the goal line. So that's another layer to that.
That was the biggest thing they mentioned, yeah.
And then in the last year, for the first whatever it was 8 weeks or however often he was starting, he was running back 3 in the league.
Yeah.
It was Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jordan Mason, right? There's a lot of layers to why he's such a great pick, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But just the baseline, reasoning you just mentioned, half PPR goal line back,
very valuable.
Right there. That's worth a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we, to that point, like you mentioned, we saw him be a full 3-down back whenever CMC got injured. The guy clearly was a full 3-down back. He can do it. So if Aaron Jones, I know he had a very healthy run out last year. First year that he's kind of had that good run out. And he is 31 now? I mean, hate to say it, but he's getting old. He's probably not going to get near as many snaps as he did last year. So yeah, Jordan Mason, I agree. I think he's an excellent pick where he's going.
I'm 20% Jordan Mason, 0% Aaron Jones.
Really? I have mixed in a little Aaron Jones just because I do think that he's going to have a lot of receiving work, which obviously at PPR, you're not just totally thrilled that he's not getting goal line work. So that's why I don't have a ton of him. But he was falling, a little bit here with obviously when the Jordan Mason trade happened. That was probably when I got the most. But yeah, I've definitely slowed down and I've not taken near as much lately. So
yeah,
he's taking Mason.
He's definitely been a heavy focus for me this draft season, Jordan Mason. So
yep. And they do have a good O-line, Peppers. That's a good call.
And he's also the perfect zero RB, hero RB type of. He goes in that range where it just fits so perfectly for what I think is going to do well this year. So
it should have a good floor and have upside. It's hard to find, guys that are like that in that range.
The floor plus the upside is all of it.
That's it.
The upside is everything.
That is the biggest case, right?
Yeah. So it's he gets drafted where he gets drafted, and the upside is he's legitimately, as we've seen, a top 5 potential running back.
Yeah.
So
He's
You know,
not just like
let's call it top 8. Let's call it top 8. Let's be reasonable, right?
I could have swore I saw somebody trying to make a comp like he was more like a B-Rob, and I was like, no, he is not even. That's a totally different description, totally different comp. Jordan Mason actually has some cut ability to him, has some shiftiness, and he can catch the ball. Like, it's not like he can't.
The biggest difference between those two for me would be every time we've seen Jordan Mason get a chance, he's excelled. Exactly. Every time we've seen Brian Robinson get a chance, which is the last 3 seasons, he's been just mediocre. Right?
And now we're seeing they just pretty much let him go, and we're like, we don't really need you anymore.
Oh, Caleb goes, that would have been
really fun.
So we can go Purdy here. I don't mind that.
With Pearsall. These running backs are kind of, unless you're wanting to pull up one, or
where's Dak? Is Dak there? Is he
got taken at 105. Yeah, I know. I was looking at that as well.
We could just do double bring back with Loveland, or
I was gonna say we could do that. Be done with tight end essentially.
We could do that, or Fields is always okay. I'm good with either of those.
Well, let's do Loveland. I like that. I do like the Chicago. Obviously, we're both very in on Chicago, so I think that fits a little bit better, especially with the San Francisco. That Week 17 game is obviously one we want to have that exposure to. So I don't mind doing that at all.
I'm higher on that game and I'm assuming you obviously are too. I'm higher on that game than most. I think people are overlooking that game. It's in San Francisco. The weather should be fine. Yeah. Maybe it's rainy. I guess that would suck, but it should be fine.
At least the temperature, right? It's gonna be good, right? So
we
know that at least.
Great game. I think
What's up, Fanny Football Garage? Good to see you, brother. What's going on, man?
The Jeopardy champ in the house.
The Jeopardy champ from the FanSpeak Network. That was a good show, man. That was a heck of a show. Props, man. That was you pulled out a nice win there.
I should have beat Candyman. Should have beat Candyman. That's all right. And then it would have been an epic showdown against PPR Tyler. That would have been.
Yeah, I know it, man. I wish I could have watched a little bit more of the last few episodes. I did catch a little bit of the last one there, but yeah, I had other prior obligations on some of the other ones and didn't get to catch as much as I wanted to. But that's a really fun. I like that they did that. That was a really cool concept. It brought a whole new element to best ball and continuing to grow this beautiful game we love. So it was. I got to give a major shout out to Meg, Steve, and the whole crew, Justin Bruni, and all those folks over there at FanSpeak. They're all good people.
Absolutely, they knocked it out of the park with that one. So shout out.
Yeah, they did, man. Going from the whole Bruni being the Trebek and all that, and it was just it was awesome, man. It was a cool thing.
What do we have left for quarterbacks in this? I wonder if we can stop at 2.
We possibly Jordan Love, which I know we don't really have anything rolling with Jordan Love, but man, he falls so much now, and I guess I don't really know what it's for, to be honest. But we always could. Darno wouldn't exactly be one to stop at 2. Penix, you could probably stop at 2. Is Goff still there? We could do the exciting Watts there with Purdy and Goff.
We got some options. Okay.
I will say I like this running back range quite a bit. I've been buying a lot of Tank, Braylon. I've been taking Tootin, obviously now. That's why I do like this range of running backs.
Yeah, that maybe when we get to the charts, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But that's why I personally think that pushing RB a little bit to this range right here and just smashing this range of RBs, I think is going to be the winning strategy this year. I really do. So you gotta hit on the first or second round RB, maybe both or one of, right? You have to hit on that, and then you have to hit on one of the running backs in this range, and then I think you'll be laughing. So
yeah, I agree.
Could be wrong, but that's kind of my take. That's my lean.
No, I think which, like I said, I've been drafting a lot out of this range of running backs lately. But I will say most of the time I've either had like 1 or 2, earlier running backs, and then I'm just plugging all these to try to get to like 5 or 6 and be done. But I totally agree. I think this is a sweet spot range right now because a lot of these guys are going to probably have more role than we think.
Yep.
With the whole Judkins stuff with Sampson, you got Jerome Ford going later. Eckler now that, they got rid of B-Rob. B-Rob is the, now the backup to CMC, which we all know how important that contingency is. Are you liking B-Rob here, or what do you think?
I think we can push B-Rob realistically. I think Goff makes a lot of sense just to get that out of the way. I think Ramondre probably makes the most sense here.
Okay.
Scroll
early
down.
touches.
Other RBs maybe.
Eckler, Davis, Sampson, Blue.
If Braylon was there, I would say Braylon for sure.
Yeah, I know. I was really I was in my back of my head. I wasn't going to say nothing because I was like, man, Ollie Gordon went to. But yeah, Braylon was one that I was definitely wanting to get. But
that's early for Braylon.
Sorry,
for Ollie. That's early for Ollie.
Yeah, that is really early for Ollie. Considering he was going in like the 180s, not even a few days ago. His rise is getting up there with Bill's a little bit now that their Bill, got the run out that he did. Yeah, I agree. Ramondre, eat your vegetables pick.
Who started that? Was that BBG who started that saying? Whoever started that saying is awesome and well done. That's fucking hilarious.
Eat your vegetables.
Yeah, eat your vegetables with that pick. I love that saying. Whoever came up with that, shout out. I heard BBG say it on a stream the other day. I don't know if he made it up. Maybe he did. I don't know who started.
I've only heard it just a couple of times, but it definitely defines exactly what that pick is. It's like, you're just hoping that he keeps the early down roll, because if he get fumbles within the first few games, it's like dead. I mean, I just hope he can. He fumbled, obviously in the preseason game or whatever, and it's like, come on, man. Yeah, just get away from the fumbles.
They're paying him a lot, and he is familiar with the offense. So
yeah, and Mike Vrabel wants that punishing running back. That's absolutely what I think people just don't understand with Travion. Is that Vrabel wants to have that 1 down 2 back system. He wants to have the early down grinder. Then he wants to have the Travion be the, Shane Vereen, the whatever, however many scat running backs that they've had in New England that have Rex Burkhead type deals. So that's really what he wants to have again. And yeah, I mean, Ramondre is going to get used. Probably more than all of us think that, the Travion Henderson truthers really want to admit to.
I love me some Trevion, but I agree. Like
his price is just it's too high for me now.
It's getting wild, but I mean, I had Henderson ranked ahead of Genty as a prospect coming into the season. So I'm higher than anybody on Henderson. Yeah. So and his price is getting a little bit.
It's steep, man. It is very steep now.
But I think it's a lot like so this goes with the DeAndre Swift conversation as well. But I think it's a lot. Vrabel is a lot like Dan Campbell to me, where this whole 2 running back thing, people think it's a Ben Johnson thing. It might just be a Dan Campbell thing.
Yeah.
He's the one making the decisions at the end of the day. He's the head coach. Same thing with Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. Like this could be a Vrabel thing that he wants that hammer, right? Every head coach like that, especially defensive head coach, every kind of meathead head coach, they want a hammer. They want a hammer, right? They want to make
I fully agree.
Nail. So
no, that's right. That's a good point. But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like Ramondre is going to be that guy as long as he keeps the job. Like, I don't really think he also has like a short leash either, like people do think. I don't think that's the case. Like, because who else do they have? Antonio Gibson. Like, what are you thinking here though while we're on the clock?
Man, I liked Tillman there. We could just go Najee. I know people are scared of.
I'm not scared. I've been buying the crap out of him ever since I saw him on the field yesterday. I think every draft I've looked for him in this range. And then
what else do we want to do here?
I mean, I don't think we have to pull up any of these other running backs, even though we probably need running back. I would say wide receiver. I know you're a big Kyle Williams guy.
I mean, Pop is the better click, to be honest. Like Pop Douglas is going to have a bigger role.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Pop, and that pretty much gets us done at wide receiver. Done. Yeah,
I think we're pissing green.
I was about to say, essentially we are just taking running back because we got 5 picks left.
Yeah,
That was it.
2772 feels actually not so bad for this team. I think we
No.
can make it work with this running back room. We have two just fall into the end zone, get us 11 points kind of running backs.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even mind tacking on a third tight end at this point, like because we
Yeah,
do have two rookies. Loveland is probably still going to have Komet in the fold, so I mean I don't mind getting a third tight end if you're into that, and just maybe doing 6 running backs. But I think we'll just kind of let the draft see how this kind of flows. But I'll keep the tight ends up just so we can see kind of who's available once we kind of get there. But
yeah.
are you into T-Slaw? Are you drafting any of him with his hype that he's getting now? He's
I am.
gone up a lot too.
I am like I'm kind of drafting him. I've been drafting him all the way up, really. So I'm gonna keep doing it up to a point. To a point, like I'm not gonna like there will be a point for sure where I kind of turn the faucet off and just say that's
process there.
No moss. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
not pulling the wallet out anymore. I get it.
Yeah. There's gonna be a point where I'm gonna have to turn it off, but I'm okay right now. When he's going into like the 130s, that's where I'm probably gonna say I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
I'm having a tough time. He went 160, I think. I'm having a tough time. Okay. I'm having a tough time taking him there. Like, it's yes, they shipped off Tim Patrick. Yes, that probably puts him in the wide receiver 3 role. But how valuable was that role last year? Like, Tim Patrick scored a few touchdowns. I mean, but was it winning leagues or did it get anybody's roster to the 1 or 2 spot? No. I mean, it probably moved you from 6th to 7th or something like that. But I don't know. I guess I kind of find it so hard to make that click where he's going, even though I feel like it's still going to take an injury for him to be actually, which I get it. His price is still cheap. So I don't know.
It just depends on if you like him or not. Like,
yeah, I mean, I do think he's talented for sure.
No, enough to like draft him in the 14th round. Because
right. That's the big question.
Once you get to basically round 14, I don't care about ADP. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Get your guys. Yeah, do what you want to do. Get your guys. Speaking of get your guys, what do we want to do here?
Giddens is one that I do enjoy. I'm going to say I've been drafting a lot of Harold Fannin if we do want to tack on that third, and he has been moving up a lot lately. I do like his upside on that Browns team with Joe Flacco. Like I said, who do you like? You like Keaton?
You do not have to talk me into DJ Giddens. He's my guy. He's literally my most drafted player.
So, I've been drafting a lot more Giddens, obviously, since we solidify. He's definitely locked in that running back 2 role. We know John Taylor's not exactly always healthy, so definitely buying up the Giddens when I can. But what are you thinking on the next one here? Are you wanting to go another running back, or are you wanting to do something with one of these tight ends?
If we take another tight end, I would want it to be a vet. Like we have 2 rookies,
not another rookie. I get that.
Yeah, I'm good with Keaton Mitchell though. Here, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, he's a burner pick. Kind of what you look for in these later rounds. You want those guys that can hit a home run anytime they get on the field. He's definitely one of those. So I do like that pick, and that's what I was going to say. We didn't take a tight end. I was wanting Keaton.
Yeah, back to the T-Slaw thing. Like the reason I like them is because I think that they are going to struggle as a team a little bit more. And they could be maybe not a little more pass heavy, but he could just be that like I think his ceiling would be Rashad Bateman last year.
Okay.
Like 700 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think he can get in the end zone, or maybe more like Andre Yoshibas.
Sure.
400 or 500 yards, 6 touchdowns, something like that.
I think that sounds reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting crazy, but that's 100 fantasy points, and those spike weeks are what we're after. We're looking for touchdowns, right? Out of
and obviously we've seen in the preseason that he's not been a stranger to the
exactly. He's had 3 touchdowns in 3 games. So and catching passes from all kinds of different quarterbacks, none of them are named Jared Goff.
I would say he does. He has looked good. He has looked good.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen mainly is the one throwing in those. Yeah. Kyle Allen had a heck of a preseason there after the first game that he kind of had a.
He's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Like he can play in this league.
Right.
He can play in this league. He's a former Bengals backup, so he can play. He can play though. He can play though.
Didn't he? He got to A&M, didn't he? Didn't he go to A&M? Did he go to A&M?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was A&M. UD dropped Thielen's point projections. What is it? Tell me what it is, because I haven't looked. What are they projecting him to be
for the
fantasy
season?
dog?
It
That's
looks
what
like
I'm guessing.
75.5 is what I'm seeing on the screen right now. 75.5 for the season projection. 75.5 points.
Oh, really?
That's pretty low. That's pretty low.
Say, well, and obviously I think they're not counting the fact that whenever Addison is back and Justin Jefferson's back, what is he going to play? I mean, he's not playing over those two guys, so that's kind of also, I've had this conversation about when he was on the Panthers before there was even any trade talk. I haven't been drafting. I did draft him some in the pre-draft, and then they drafted McMillan, and I just completely stopped taking him because I had a feeling he was going to get phased out. Like they were fully drafting youth. They brought, Coker, I felt like was going to make the team. I'm big on Coker. I really wasn't big on Leggett. I don't really like Leggett's profile. And now I'm even more bullish on Coker, obviously, because I feel like he is going to take the slot role and run with it. But Thielen was the one that I had a feeling he was just going to get phased out as the vet guy. I kind of like what Tyler Lockett did last year in Seattle. It's like I didn't really like Thielen after they drafted McMillan.
I just thought he was going to get traded the whole time. I thought Kansas City was a spot that he could end up because it makes a lot of sense. I just didn't see how he stayed on this team, if I'm being honest.
You like any of these running backs?
I like Blake Corum right now.
Man, we're on the same page. I was going to say, where to go? I've been taking Corum a lot more lately now, especially today. We've gotten this coach speak every year. But this, was from the OC. LaFleur was saying that, who do you want to go one of these tight ends? Do you like Theo? Do you like, I don't know, Waller?
I don't mind going JT Sanders. I think we can get away with this running back room. It's close, but I think we can get away with that room.
Okay. And this has been one of my favorite kind of build structure-wise that I've been doing a lot of, like a 2-6-7-3 or a 3-6-7-2. I've been mainly trying to get 6 running backs, at least 7 wide receivers, and interchangeably the 3 or being on the quarterback or the tight end. So this has technically like been one of my sweet construction points. So I definitely like this and do like – obviously I'm really big on JT Sanders too. Yeah, I really like that. But so let's let this thing clear out. Are you taking any – while we do – are you taking any of these other guys down here?
I have more than I would like on Marshawn Lloyd because he was looking good, and
that's a tough one.
It's time to just take him out to pasture, I think. Jarquez Hunter's one of my guys, so I'm evening out my Corum to Jarquez Hunter exposure because it looks like with the preseason Corum had, like you can't really deny it, and the coach speak we got recently, so. There's that. I have more Jalen Wright than I would like, but I was drafting him early.
He is my highest on the running back in pre-draft, unfortunately.
But, luckily for me, I avoided the Isaac Orendo. I was early on maybe he's just not good, and he's always injured. So,
I was just basically doing the draft the contingent CMC back. So it was Mason first, obviously, and that's why I have quite a bit of like 206 average ADP on Mason was because he was essentially, I thought he was going to be, again, the contingent back for CMC. Then he gets traded. I started drafting Orendo. So unfortunately, that didn't play out well. But going back to the whole Jalen Wright thing, I'd made a tweet way back in pre-draft when they drafted Ollie Gordon. I said, you should be drafting one or both of these guys in every draft because one of them is going to hit as the RB2. And so luckily I got in like 15, 16% Ollie Gordon there too before I knew that he was going to get, I was drafting him a little bit before I knew where he was going in the NFL draft. And then after he went to Miami, I was like, okay, I'm definitely wanting to get more now since he is in Miami. So that was kind of just the strategy that I tried to play with that. And hopefully that'll kind of work out in my favor, hopefully.
I've got to catch up on my Ollie. If he's going 130, I'm not going to catch up.
No, I was going to say you're missing. Yeah, if you hadn't really started already, it's probably not going to it's not going to be good to start buying now. But there are probably chances where he still kind of falls a little bit because not a lot of people are bringing him up. I have seen him going around his ADP, but I haven't seen a ton bringing him up. But that might be the new course now. So I don't know. Let's name this dude 27. It's in the drive with OTS, and we did a 2, 6, 7, 3.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why it's been doing this weird thing. Every time I try to, and I just get refresh, and then it'll be there. I don't know. It does it every time I try to rename. Is it okay?
Yeah. It's.
I'm not a big name. And you can see I'm not a big. I don't name any of my teams unless I do a stream. So, but like I've done with everybody, I got to get a 1 out of 10 grade from you, Cody. So let's run down the team. And we'll get a grade from you on that. And then I do want to see this sheet that you're talking about. I do want to check that out. Yeah. So 2, 6, 7, 3, Brock, Jared Goff, Jordan Mason, Stevenson, Najee, DJ Giddens, Keaton Mitchell, Blake Corum. I actually like that running back room quite a bit from just an upside standpoint. Wide receivers, Drake London, Amon-Ra, George Pickens, JSN, Ricky Pearsall, Roma Dunze, Pop Douglas. Tight end room was Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, and JT Sanders.
It's a true 0 RB. It's a true 0 RB draft. I actually really like it. I would give this a solid, like a hard 8, 2 4s, a hard 8 on this. I think it's a really good draft. It's a type of team that has a shot, I think.
I like it.
We have to get something to go, we have to get an injury in the running back room somewhere. Right. Somewhere we have to get an injury. We have to kind of get lucky. I think we have enough where they can kind of ping pong off each other. Luckily, we're not going to need that in the flex. We have the flex. We have the 3 wide receiver positions covered and the flex with our strong wide receiver room. So, I'd give it a hard 8.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was about a 7, 8, so I like yours a little bit better. But I was thinking in my head once I read it off, I was like, I think this is probably like a 7, 7, 7, 8. I like it. I mean, I really do like the structure. Like I said, this 2, 6, 7, 3 or 3, 6, 7, 2 has been kind of my go-to structure a lot lately. So I really just like that overall structure. But yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, I think Ramondre is going to have to carry some load for us here, and if he don't, then depending on what Najee can do, that might hurt us a little bit. But like you said, if one of these guys gets a role and becomes more than contingent, that could really help us here majorly, and that's probably what we're going to have. But, yeah, I agree. I like the team. I like the build.
I like it a lot, too. Yeah, I think this worked out. I think it worked out. So, let's pull – if you want me to pull up this sheet,
I
can do that. Should be there.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Oops. Okay, let me remove this and add yours. There we go.
Okay. So Billy Jones essentially did all of this data, and all of this data. And then I expanded on it, essentially kind of averaging it out and figuring out what I think, where I think there's some gaps more or less in these numbers. So the number you see here, this is the average over Best Ball Mania 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Right. So it's the average over the 4 Best Ball Mania tournaments for how frequent these starts happen, right? So by far, the most frequent start in Best Ball Mania is 1, 2, 3, 0. 1, 2, 3, 0. Yeah, by far, right? So that's kind of something you would want to somewhat avoid. But this number here is the average of advance rate between, again, Best Ball Mania 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I highlighted green the best advance rate structures. The best is almost 19%, 1140 is the best advance rate structure through 6 rounds, essentially through the past 4 years of Best Ball Mania. But looking at it, like the data is wild to look at, because look at Best Ball Mania 5. It was completely different than any other year we've ever had. It basically flipped it on its head from 4. Best Ball Mania 4 to Best Ball Mania 5 is literally the complete opposite of each other, right?
That's interesting.
So it was a horrible advance rate to go 0 RB.
0 RB, yeah, right. But if running back smashed, obviously,
yeah, 3 through 6 rounds, you're probably advancing 30% of your team. So, and then again, the Best Ball Mania 4, it's complete opposite. Less so because drafting RBs early is it is conducive to advancing teams. It is. We
Right.
know that. Same with quarterbacks. You draft 3 quarterbacks, you're more likely to advance.
Sure.
You draft 6 running backs, you're more likely to advance, right? We know that. So, but if you want to win all the money, you don't
want to be the same. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So I use this to say, okay, like what do I want to avoid? Like where do I want to try to be a little bit different? And I don't want to be 1, 2, 3 as often as I can, but I also recognize that it is, good for advance rate. Right. So same thing with 1, 2, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, or 0, 2, 3, 1. These are by far the most common advanced structures in Best Ball Mania by a lot, right? Gotcha. So the 0 RBs are very, very uncommon, and then 0, 1, 0, 5, 0 is up there with advance rate, 18% advance rate.
That's interesting. Yeah,
but only 1% of drafts are starting that way.
Yeah,
right. So there's a bit of an opportunity right there that if you hit it, but obviously you have to get that quarterback right, a couple wide receivers right. You have to get it right, but the opportunity is there. So I use this to kind of say, okay, how do I want to start through 6 rounds? And these are the kind of structures that I want to focus on through 6 rounds to get to where I want to go. Actually, that's not true. Where it really matters to me is through 10 rounds. So this is the data through 10 rounds. Same data, same thing. BBM 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Same thing. The common how frequent they're drafted, and then advance rate, right? So 1, 3, 5, 1 feels really good. It feels great. It's super balanced. It feels wonderful. No wonder 20% of teams are drafted that way. That's massive. I
was just thinking, I was like, man, I have so many 1, 3, 5, 1 starts that
I'm sure you do.
More than I can think of. So that doesn't make me feel great. But I mean, yeah, it is. It's like you said, it's like, oh, it's comfortable. It is comfortable. The balance is there,
But look at the advance rate. It's not even top 5. Right. It's not even top 5 for advance rate. Right. Yeah. So it feels great. It looks great. But the bottom line is not only is it not great for advancing, but it's not great for winning. So it's something that I'm like desperately trying to avoid. I have a lot because it feels good. It's an easy structure. You can fall into it.
I mean, if 20% of that is starting that way, obviously a lot of people are doing it, But yeah,
absolutely. So that's something that I'm trying to avoid, and then finding where like there's some gaps. So 2, 4, 4, 0, right? I'm doing a lot of 2, 4, 4, 0. 18% it's the highest advance rate besides 1, 5, 4. Like again, drafting 5 running backs, 4 or 5 running backs early is going to be good for advance rate, right?
Exactly.
So, but how can I kind of leverage off of that right here? 2, 4, 4, 0. Only 2.25% of teams are starting that way, and almost 19% of teams advance.
That's interesting.
That's a really nice way to start. You can also stop at 2 quarterbacks almost 100% of the time. Right. You can probably stop at 5 running backs most of the time, most likely.
Yeah. Given you start like a double anchor. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's also it's punt tight end, right? Which I think is a very, very good strategy this year.
Big 0 tight ender myself.
Yeah.
I see myself doing that quite often, actually.
So this kind of lines up with my strategy this year. So that's one of my main focuses. 2, 4, 4, 0 is one of them. 2, 3, 5, 0, right? Another punt tight end. Again, 18% advance rate, and only 3.25% of teams are doing it. And it's right there with the 1, 3, 5, 1. It's just you take a quarterback instead of a tight end, right? That's the only difference. Take a quarterback instead of the tight end in round 10. It's the only difference, right?
So, and honestly, I'm way into doing that. Like we talked about earlier, like getting like a Baker, getting like a Justin Herbert, getting like a Caleb Justin Herbert, and being done at quarterback. I'm way into that. So, some value angles. I just want to throw this out from Peppers. Drummed on my own. Hey, appreciate that, man. Glad you guys are still in here chatting with this fantasy dog. These guys do the hard work. I listen. Hey, appreciate that too, man. And Peppers said, I'm more in the 1, 4, 4, 1 range. I think,
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Go ahead.
That's beauty. So where I was going to finish up is like how can I These are the structures I want to get to through 10 rounds. Like I'm hyper focused on these structures through 10 rounds.
Gotcha.
So how can I start to get there? And these are kind of the starts that you can do to get there. So 2.440 is by a large margin my biggest
What
like
you're
focus.
trying to target.
Yeah. If I want to be hyper focused on a structure through 10 rounds, it's 2.440. Punt, tight end, be done at quarterback, probably done at running back, might have to go to 6, but and then what we just drafted, like a 2.673 is very, very common for me. 2.673, 2.682, 2.582, stuff like that are very, very, very common structures for me.
And those are very standard across the board, like in general, like 2.582, 3.582, those are the most standard 6 running back.
The most common by far is the 3.573.
Really?
Why? Again, you start
with the comfy, the 1.351, and you get, you're already looking at 5 really good wide receivers. You're already looking at 3 probably stud, at least 2 stud running backs there. So yeah, I can easily
stop at 7, stop at 5,
and then
right?
Fill
and
in the 3 quarterback for each tight end.
Yeah,
it does make sense. I mean, totally.
Right. So it's very, very common that finish and that start, right? So.
Yeah.
So again, I've just used this and who knows if it's going to work or not, but I'm pretty bought in on it. Like this is why I like to draft on my own.
It's worth monitoring, and I would definitely like to see like your results, just to see in theory, like, if, I typically try not to put so much weight like on prior years because this game just changes so much every year. Yeah. But I do think this is it. Like it is interesting to look at the numbers. I will say that I'll never be like bored by looking at numbers like this because it is interesting. It's like, okay, well, yeah. And it's fun to see the changes,
So what I've done and what I think about the numbers and what I would encourage anybody to think about the numbers, use the numbers. Yeah. But use it where it makes sense. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think, Sean, is the strategy that wins this year? Right. Yeah. What do you think? And then line it up with some other years. Because again, Best Ball Mania 5 and Best Ball Mania 4 are completely different.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So like, what do you think is going to win more this year? Best Ball Mania 4 or Best Ball Mania 5? Those strategies. Right. So that's where that's how I use the data is what do I think is going to win? Not, what is the data?
Not going directly off of that. I get you.
Yeah. What do you think is going to win this year? Because that's all that matters. Is
using your own theory, but putting that data of what year that theory, what year you're thinking is the meta of this year, right? Like
exactly. Like what does the draft board look like? Right. We know that, like we talked about that. What was it? Rounds 12 to 14 or something for running backs.
Yeah.
We love that round. Yeah, rounds 8 to 10 for quarterbacks, stuff like that. Like round 6, 4 to 7 for wide receivers, right? Sure. I think we all like those pockets of positional drafting, right? So again, use all that to your benefit and sure. kind of build it out that way. That's kind of what I've done. I don't think I've made I'm not trying to fit a round hole or square peg into a round hole, right?
Gotcha.
I'm taking the data and saying, how can I adjust? Again, this is why I'm just hyper focused on trying my absolute best to not have 1.351, because again, it's super, super common and it's possible there's duplicate lineups out there, certainly through 6 rounds. So again, 1, 2, 3 through 6 rounds, I guarantee you there's duplicate lineups.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So trying to avoid those types of
definitely. I think that's definitely a viable strategy there, trying to stay away from those, obviously, for the whole reason that if you're playing a contest like a BBM that has 700,000 folks in it, you do not want to have that many dupes with 20 to 25, 30% people. You are literally paying the rate right there. So totally get that. And that's definitely a good point.
So yeah, that's kind of what I did with the data. I hope it works for me. I don't know. It's what I'm doing. So
well, and I mean, I do want to circle back on this with you, man, towards the end of the season, and maybe we could jump on and talk about it too, because I think this is really interesting, and I'd like to see what did hit, what didn't, what you thought was going to be the strategy picked here. for this meta for this year, and compare it to what it actually, the actual results, and then your actual results, and see, how they kind of line up, and see.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be just like, okay, well, we thought it was this meta, but it was this one, and it was totally off. It could easily be that way too. Or you could completely smash and was like, hey, well, this is definitely something that needs to be, looked at a little bit more each year. So
if I win this year, then everyone's going to have a spreadsheet like this, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be happy to do that. I do make all my results public. I'm not going to run from it, win or lose.
I always try to post everything before season, and then at the very end, I usually do I'll try to keep tweets going that how many advancing teams I've died. I always put how much money, how many contests, how much money I put in on the preseason, and then obviously at the end, I always try to do the recap for the whole year. So I'm definitely the same way.
Yeah, no, we can definitely do that. It's important to be accountable. So yeah.
And I mean, it's not like we're sitting here selling picks or anything. We don't have to do that. We don't have to say anything. I mean,
no, exactly.
But I'm like you. It's more of a I want to be held accountable for the things because I don't just try to spew random takes. I draft what I say. Like that's exactly. You're the same way. Like so. I think that's for us. It's more of a pride thing than anything, being held accountable. So I totally agree.
As I said, I use the data. Like you might not agree with me on what wins this year, and that's perfectly fine. Absolutely, please disagree with me. That's fine, right? So, but use it to again, make it work for you.
Formulate your own theory.
Yeah, these are the builds that I'm focused on because the way that I think is going to win this year. But if you disagree, take this and say, no, I think 0 RB is going to win this year or whatever, and use it to formulate your draft strategy that way. So I don't think there's any one way to win, and anyone that says that is silly. I think that was the big miss from last year. Was that everybody was saying it's 0 RB. And I was sitting over here. I was so over here drafting Barkley, drafting Henry, drafting these running backs.
I will say, I was not in as much on Barkley, and thank God for the 4% blanket. But if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have won any money last year. But that was it's a good point because all the big shops, all the big names were pushing running back hardcore last year. And then, it just totally bombs. I mean, totally bombs.
Because of this right here.
Yeah.
That's why they were pushing it so hard, because it won the last 2 years in a row.
And
but
again, another big reason why you shouldn't just solely use last year's data. But I like the way you're angling it to analyze the few years and say, what is working this year? Like, what is it looking like this year?
Because everything adjusted. The draft boards were not the same.
Yeah.
Right. Everything adjusted between BBM 3, 4, and then 5. Everyone thought it's all just the same.
Yeah.
Where no, it's not. The draft board is completely different, not only from BBM 3 to 4 to 5, but from June to July.
Right.
To August, right?
I will say, we talked about that the range of running backs that we really like right now. That range was not there a month ago.
It was not there, exactly. So the draft board completely changes throughout the summer, so you can't treat it as a blanket. Everything's the same. You can't. No. If you're going to lose, and a lot of people did last year, right? Because
best ball was just starting to get more popular, and more people were following those big names. And not trying to call anybody out, not trying to throw shade at anything or anybody. That's just the fact of the matter, and that's what happened. But I thought he said no one talks about hero wide receiver. I didn't know Gritty was in the chat, man. I didn't know Gritty was in here. But Pepper's throwing out the 0 wide receiver. And I'm good on the 0 wide receiver front there, Peppers. I think I'm gonna draft some wide receivers, but
no doubt. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny how it worked, and don't just listen to people. Disagree. Do your own thing. Do your own research.
Right.
Like my motto: if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right.
You'll never be right, man. And that's so true. It's so true. Scared money don't make money.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to take stands. Get your guys. Play it how you want, and don't worry. Let the results fall where they may. Yeah.
Adjust again. Not only between these years, but month to month, week to week. Like shit changes throughout the whole draft season. So you can't just say, I'm going to keep drafting 0 RB, because that the draft board doesn't call for it anymore. Right.
Right. No.
So,
And again, yeah, you should not have a set plan like in any draft. You should not say, you know what, I'm going to do, but I have seen some streams where they make that like part of the entertainment value. I'm going to do this build. That's fine. But like if you're going into every single draft and you're saying this is going to be a 3-5-7-3 or this is going to be a 2-6-8-2, whatever, you should never be doing that. It should literally be going with the dictation and the flow of the draft. Let the draft tell you what the build should be. Like that's the way it should be.
Yeah, there should be a point. I always do say on my streams, like, you do want to know as early as you can, but again, you're still letting the draft board come to you. So
you
like,
got to pivot. Like you need to know which one to pivot when things go differently.
Yeah, if you get a falling Josh Allen, you're going to take Josh Allen, and then you're done at 2 quarterbacks. So right there, you're done at 2 quarterbacks. So it's going to be a 2 something, right? You know that. And then
I'm never taking a third tight end with any of those top guys. I mean,
exactly same thing. Yeah. Let's say you draft Josh Allen and Brock Bowers. You're going to have 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends.
That's right.
So that opens it up right there. There's only so many options after that, right? So you want to know as early as you can, but don't go into the draft thinking that whatever happens, and then round 10 you'll know.
Absolutely. Well, Cody, man, if you're good, I guess we can go ahead and I really do appreciate you bringing this up and showing it to all the chat too. I think we've had some good stuff, good banter there, good little conversation. And this, like I said, the numbers are really interesting. So I do appreciate you bringing that up, and I appreciate you coming on, man. Like it's been a really fun stream. We had a good draft. Really liked the team. I think we both rated it really well. So with that being said, hey, if you don't already, which I'm sure all of you guys do, go down, check out the comments, follow Cody over on Twitter, go sub to OTS, go make sure you guys sub over there to OTS, go check out his streams. But I'll let you go ahead and plug anything else you want to plug. I'm sorry if I stole your plug there, but go for it, man. Go ahead and tell them what you want to tell them.
No, that's about it, man. I appreciate you having me on. This was a long time coming, so I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll circle back on this. I'm happy to always talk the numbers, share the numbers and stuff like that. And my strategy, I do it I show all this on my show all the time. I show my rankings. I'm very, very transparent and open with, and people don't agree with me a lot because I'm very, very hard on my takes. I'm not going to change my mind, and you're not going to change my mind.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, which is good. So stay firm. But yeah, if you like the content, go check me out. There's only about a week left, and I don't make any content throughout the regular season. I just get way too busy in my personal life, my real life, what pays the bills. So I'll be unless something pops up, I might do some pop-up stuff if there's like a deep run in a tournament, or if you want to circle back, we can do that, little things like that. But I'm not making weekly content or daily content, but I'm trying to get in as many streams as I can before the season starts.
That's a big thing right there. Yeah, man. I
got a few more in me. So head on, follow me over there, and we'll have a good time.
All right, man. So close it out. Hartman coming on tomorrow. Make sure you guys come back, chat with us, catch the stream tomorrow. I think it'll probably be around 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, I think is what me and Hartman discussed. I know I didn't put it on the tweet, but I am going to tweet that out tomorrow. Make sure you check that out. If you are generous enough to throw us up, throw a like. Really appreciate you guys hanging with us, chatting with us, Peppers, Fantasy Dog, all you guys who dropped in. Appreciate all you guys coming in, chatting with us, chilling with us. But this is going to do it. Let's wrap up episode 27 of Extend the Drive. Sean Mitchell, Cody, we're out. Thank you, guys.